What can I pour for you?
Manfred, the quartermaster of the barracks, told me about your supply problems.
And he sends you? Damn. I didn't think a legate would act in person, but it's nice to see that our problems are taken seriously. I'll explain. Alcohol has been scarce in New Serene for quite some time. Our suppliers in the town are constantly victims of theft, to the point that they're no longer able to supply taverns. I could have managed if my monthly delivery from the continent had arrived as planned, but customs seized my goods.
Did they give you a reason?
Conservative seizure, they said. Time to check that everything is in order. And now they tell me that they can't return my goods because they've been stolen. Can you believe it? If even customs are getting robbed, what hope do we have?
This is all rather suspicious. Don't worry. I'll go and see these customs officers and get this cleared up.
The best forge in it's you, Norman.
Customs Officer Alric. What can I do for you?
Desarde, I'm the legate of the merchant congregation. I've been told of some issues with customs. I would like some clarification.
I'm listening, Your Excellency.
I was told that a shipment from the continent bound for the tavern had been seized as a precautionary measure.
Yes, it's possible. We seize cargo sometimes, to verify that all taxes to the town have been paid.
Randomly, without a prior formal order.
No, I don't know. Perhaps we received a complaint. That happens sometimes.
I suppose all entries are noted in your records.
Naturally, but I assure you that we only do our job. It was all routine.
I was told that a shipment from the continent bound for... I was informed that customs was robbed.
Yes, these thieves have quite the nerve. Someone even stole personal belongings this time. Since then, I've put all important things in the chest. But I lost the key. Probably on my way here.
Let me summarize. You have confiscated some goods, perhaps because of a report, but you're not sure. Then that same cargo was stolen from you, along with other things in your custody.
Exactly, Your Excellency.
You are either the worst customs officer I've met or the biggest liar.
Listen, Your Excellency, I made a mistake. It's true. I should not have ordered this seizure. In fact, it was late, and counting the crates would have taken me hours. I decided to postpone it. In the meantime, the goods were stolen. It's unfortunate, but I'm not useless.
You haven't even informed the authorities of this robbery. This is all rather suspicious, Officer Auric. So I think it's necessary to conduct this inspection with a search.
Please, Your Excellency.
I'm sure the contents of this chest would be very informative. Maybe we should go to the docks to see if we could find the key that this scatterbrain has lost.
So, were you satisfied with your inspection, sire?
I haven't finished yet.
So, were you satisfied with your inspection, sire?
Absolutely. I found this letter in your chest. The signature on it seemed very interesting.
I was sure I'd lost the key. I will explain. But I am trapped. And it's been like this for months. I am forced to pull off all kinds of tricks in order to settle an old debt.
Egon.
Yes, sir. Either I do what he says, or I lose my children. I've already paid off my debt 100-fold, but he maintains his hold over me. And now I have no choice but to obey when he asks me to divert larger shares of cargo.
Could you help me identify him?
I'd like to, but I've never met him. He gives me his instructions in writing, or sends his men. He wrote the letter you found. Or at least I think he did.
I plan to put an end to this individual's activities, so anything you can tell me will be useful.
I hope you manage it, Your Excellency. For the sake of my children. Maybe you could come to the meeting he's arranged tonight.
Do you think he will come in person?
I don't know. This is the first time I've received a notice like this. I fear he'll punish me for arousing the innkeeper's suspicions. He doesn't let anything get past him, you know.
Very well, I will come. If only to avoid you paying the price for your stupidity.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I'll meet you at the North Gate in the evening.
No offense to our new friend. I'm not sure this Egon will come in person. I'd be surprised if he'd bother moving just to lecture a small fry in his business.
Ah, there you are. Are you ready?
Yes, let's go.
We have a meeting next to the quarry. As we are early, we should be the first to arrive.
Perfect. I'll hide until they get here.
He will certainly not come alone. I beg you, don't wait to intervene if things go wrong.
Be confident. I won't abandon you.
You should get in position. He'll be here soon.
My friend! I'm so glad to see you. Because you owe us some explanations, don't you?
Sir, let me explain. I wanted to do well. I was just a little rushed and...
Silence, fool! Not only have you been so clumsy with your handling that the quartermaster was informed, but in addition, you dared to plot with this legate. A noble that has already cost us dearly. Do you no longer love your children, Ulrich? You want us to get rid of them? Is that it?
No, Mr. Egon, I beg you. Don't hurt them. I didn't have a choice. The legate came for an inspection, but I didn't tell him anything. I swear.
It's a shame, Ulrich. Egon loved you, but would replace you with someone else soon enough. Someone smarter. Get rid of him. I don't want to hear from this little roach any longer. As for me, I'm leaving for Hikmet. Try to be discreet. This legate doesn't seem willing to let go.
This man is waiting for us to intervene, and we promised him we would.
If we're going to help him, we will probably lose track of our man.
I swear I didn't betray you. I'll give you everything you want.
Man is waiting for us to intervene, and we promised him we would.
If we're going to help him, we will probably lose track of our man.
Nobody's gonna come. I owe you my life, Your Excellency.
Don't mention it. Alas, all this was useless. This man was not Egon.
I'm not sure that it's a person, Your Excellency. It may be the name given to the leaders of the gang. I don't know. But I will never be at peace until you arrest them, that's for sure.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do. But how can I find this man now?
He said he was going back to Hikmet, which is where he sends the stolen alcohol. I'm sorry. I have not been completely honest with you. I could have told you that earlier, but I knew that without your protection, I would not survive. The deliveries are sent to a dispensary outside the town. No doubt to avoid arousing suspicion.
A dispensary? But what are they doing with all this alcohol?
I'm not sure, Your Excellency. But you'll no doubt find out if you go there.
Well, at least the fright Egon gave Auric managed to loosen his tongue.
said and done! Grenade!
Come closer. All my wares are in the vanguard of progress.
Your Excellency, it's always a pleasure.
Thanks for your visit.
Where do your wares come from?
Most come straight from the... But
These islanders are drunk. And these guards don't look that official.
On your way. There's nothing for a highness here. As for you, savage, if you're looking for something to drink, go to my colleague over there.
What? How dare you?
Sorry, but we're entering all the same.
Oh yeah, we'll soon see about that.
Found it down.
Watch out! Grenade!
Found it down. Grenade!
Watch out! Grenade!
Heal yourself, quickly! Pronto ritne stiri.
This is the man we saw at the quarry. We must stop him.
Found it down. Grenade!
Surrender. You are under arrest.
What am I accused of?
You are a high-ranking member of a criminal organization that has named itself Egon. And you did not hesitate to order a murder. So, even though the attempt failed, the gallows await you. Unless you decide to reveal everything you know.
I won't say a word. I won't give you anyone. I'd rather die.
If you really thought so, we would not be talking. You will be taken to New Serene. Manfred will know how to make you talk.
Come closer. Come closer. All my wares are in the vanguard.
Lord de Sade, what bountiful wind brings...
Enough pleasantries, Excellency. They are a dull canter after such treachery.
I beg your pardon? What are you talking about?
Have you forgotten that after sending me to save your savants that you then again sought my assistance? According to you, I needed only to convince the Tierna Hak conductors to provide us with a remedy. But you used me like a pawn, seeking in truth to capture her.
I cannot understand why you are reacting in this way. I was certain that the witch doctor would refuse to help us. They have us marked down as enemies, after all. And I had good reason to believe that you would not resort to physical persuasion.
You are even ready to use brute force against your own allies.
Whatever do you mean?
After wounding the Tierna, your spy attempted to kill me, Excellency. And you dare to tell me that my anger is exaggerated. Can I remind you that to assassinate a legate is to declare war against his sovereign?
I never... I promise you that I had no intention for any harm to befall you. That man went beyond his orders, I assure you. I implore you, please accept my sincerest and profound apologies in the name of the Bridge Alliance.
I can only give you the benefit of the doubt for now, Your Excellency. In the meantime, you need not keep a candle lit for the return of your spy. He paid for his audacity with his life.
He would have been made to answer for such infamy, I assure you. Once again, I apologize sincerely for this crime. It should never have happened. In any case, we need to get our hands on this woman. The remedy is perhaps...
There never was a remedy. It was a wild goose chase. Perhaps even some sort of machination.
No. That is terrible. This is a great setback. How could I have been so naive? What a shame. I am truly sorry that you risked your life in vain.
Would you like to speak with me about any other subjects?
I've taken care of your problem with the caravans. The merchant should now be able to reach Hikmet.
Captain Rainhild has sent a message to that effect. You have done a great service for me. Though there is something that bothers me. I was told that you met these savages and then let them go. They showed no mercy at all with your own merchants.
The congregation is not in conflict with these natives, and has no wish to begin one.
Ah, your famous neutrality. Well then, you have solved the problem, and I would be discourteous to deny it.
My pleasure. I imagine the captain must have informed you of all that we learned.
Indeed, and I am extremely worried. An attack of any significant magnitude would be a catastrophe for our city. We have the means to repel these savages, but it will not be without great losses.
Perhaps there is another way. The natives have clearly expressed their wishes. The freedom of their brothers and sisters.
I see where this is headed, but I fear that they were not honest with you. A few natives are being held in the prison of the Coin Guard, but a handful of warriors does not seem to justify an assault of such commitment.
They were not speaking of just a few soldiers, but of kidnappings. The victims are only villagers.
This is inexplicable. We have taken no villagers. Of course, we answer their attacks in kind. And at times we have taken prisoners on the battlefield. But what use would we have for a few fishermen, hunters, and weavers?
Might it be possible that these kidnappings have taken place without your consent?
I doubt that. But of course, it is always possible that a few bandits might have stolen a shipment of arms. If that were the case, that would explain a great deal. Since you have been of such service to my people, and this grievous affair seems of great concern to you, would you be of a mind to lead the inquiry? Capture a few of these savages. Make it your mission to make them talk. We must understand what is going on before they attack.
Very well. I shall get to the bottom of this affair, Your Excellency.
Would you like to speak with me about any other subjects?
I have to go. Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell, my lord.
You'll find the Greetings. I immediately spotted that you are a real science enthusiast. I have all the potions you could ever dream of. And other things too. We also sell ingredients, and we even craft on demand. So, what would you like? I was honored by your... greeting.
I imagine that for an alchemist, this island must be a real paradise.
Indeed. Here we have access to more plants than we could ever have imagined on the continent. That being said, we are having a hard time determining the effects of all these new species. We will probably need several years to classify them all. So, in the meantime, we fall back on the ones we do know. I was honored by your visit. Please come back whenever you want.
Greetings. Halt! No one enters! Halt! Greetings!
Come closer. Come closer. All my wares are in the vanguard of trade.
Respectfully, Your Excellency. What can I do for you?
Governor Burren asked me to investigate the abductions the rebels told us about. If we could find the origin and free their comrades, I'm sure they would stop their attack. I need to locate and speak with the other rebels. Do you know where they could be?
No, they don't attack often. I fear they're gathering their forces.
Captain, the patrol we sent to the west has not returned yet.
I may have spoken too quickly, Your Excellency. Although it might still be possible that our men are just delayed.
Perhaps you would allow me to search for them. Maybe they crossed paths with the rebels.
Corporal, do you know which way the patrol went?
Of course, Captain.
You will lead, His Excellency. In hope that our men are still alive.
At your command, Captain. Your Excellency. Find me at the entrance of the camp when you're ready to start. Are you ready to go, Your Excellency?
Yes, let's go.
Let's not waste any time. Let's hurry. Let's not... Let's not waste any time.
Is that the patrol we're looking for?
Yes. That's them. More victims of these savages. But 2 of the soldiers are missing. Maybe they managed to escape. They'll surely need help. We should look for them.
I'm in trouble! Please help me!
This man needs to be cared for. But in his condition, we can't take him back to the outpost.
Allow me. There. That should be better.
Thank you, sir. Without your help, I would probably have died here.
Tell us what happened.
We came across a group of rebel savages. It was a massacre. A few seconds later, only Franz and I were left. We fled. I managed to drag myself here, but he was not so lucky. The savages caught up with him.
Was he captured? Did you see where they took him?
They headed north to Frazonegan, but in the state I was in, I didn't see much else.
Your Excellency, please. We should get him out of there. They're bound to torture and kill him.
We'll take care of it, Corporal. The rebels must have left traces when dragging the prisoner. But not you. You must help your wounded man to reach the outpost. Come on. There's our group of rebels. The soldier they captured looks dead.
Let's go, Renaigse. Stand up. Esse maru. Radi. Queas.
My name is Desade. I'm the legate of the congregation. I'm here because I want to talk to your chief.
I know who you are. The Renaigse on Ol Manawi. What do you want to say to Armal?
I want to talk to him about the abductions and to understand what's going on.
You would be the first Renaigse to care. How do we know you're not just saying that to find out where our camp is?
I am not part of the Alliance. My only goal is to avoid deaths on both sides. Help me. I am your only chance to free your prisoners without bloodshed.
You seem to really believe what you say. I hope I'm not mistaken. Very well. Tell me when you are ready to follow me to our camp. Are you ready to follow me, Renaigse?
Let's go.
It's this way.
Let's stay on guard.
What are you afraid of? That the Donea Exregao have set a trap for us.
It's this way. I'm letting my comrades know we're here, so that they let us pass. Follow me. We are almost there. It's this way. Come on. this way. This is our main camp. This is where you will find our Mal. I hope I am not wrong to lead you here, and that you are not a traitor.
So, here's the famous rebel camp. I hope their leader can tell us more about these abductions.
Who are you and what are you doing here, Anaikse?
My name is Desade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation. I came to talk to you about the abductions and your forthcoming attack.
And how did you find our camp?
I convinced one of your men to bring me.
Please, Mal. Explain to him what you know. He can help us free our brothers.
Well, I'll tell you what we know, then you'll understand why we have to fight lions. Many seasons ago, Sinolmanawi started to disappear. Lions attacked the villages and took them with them. We never saw them again. They were either crazy or so injured that even our best Donegad couldn't do anything. So we counterattacked and captured some of their soldiers. And we learned that they were taking our people to a place they call a laboratory. It is there that they torture and kill them. They talked about experiments.
Experiments? So that was the reason for all these abductions. But what do they hope to discover?
They hope to find a cure for the Malachor. And I'm afraid they're willing to carry out any atrocity to find one.
We found the laboratory, but it is heavily guarded. So we are preparing for war. Do you understand now?
Yes. And if what you tell me is true, we must put an end to it.
Alert! The lions are attacking! Traitor! It was you who led them to us!
No, I swear. They asked me to investigate. It was never a question of attacking you.
Then prove it! Fight with us!
The Alliance betrayed me as much as you. I owe them nothing.
fought bravely. And your word is true on Almanawi.
The Alliance is the ally of the congregation. Taking your side was not a decision I made lightly. But Governor Burren used and betrayed us. And he will answer for it. Please, wait before you attack. I will do everything to dismantle this laboratory and release your people.
I trust you. So we will wait. But don't take too long. Qua awalem seg on Almanawi.
Goodbye.
Lord de Sade, what?
Enough with the formalities, Excellency. You owe me an explanation. Did you order your troops to attack while I was negotiating under a white flag?
I assure you that I have no idea what you are talking about. I would never have placed your life in harm's way. The alliance with the congregation is crucial, and you know it. Your suspicions are unfounded. I'm sorry. It is now clear that decisions are being made without my consent. I'm going.
You mock me, Excellency. I can't believe this matter slipped your vigilance. Everything the Danea Exregao have told me has proven true. Your men attacked and carried off natives. I witnessed it. According to what I've been told, they are taken to a place where experiments are carried out, where they are tortured.
It is true that I knew of the existence of this laboratory. The place is dedicated to research on the Malachor. If a remedy is ever to be discovered, it will happen there. But I assure you that I was not aware that natives were being taken there.
Allow me to doubt your sincerity, Excellency. I intend to pay the place a visit and see for myself what happens there. Who directs the research?
Our most brilliant savant, the Dr. Asili. Certainly his legend precedes him. He is the master of your friend, the Professor Afra.
Dr. Asili is no longer my master, and I regret that he ever was. We should be off to Sade. If this laboratory were what I think it is, the best course of action would be to burn it to the ground.
Would you like to speak with me about any other subjects?
I have to go. Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell, my lord.
Halt! No one enters!
You speak to the legate of the merchant congregation, soldier. I have been sent by Governor Buren. I have to talk to Dr. Asili.
I don't take orders from the governor, nor the congregation. Be on your way.
You know I'm not afraid to fight, but I worry about the prisoners. Perhaps there's another way in.
Very well. We're leaving.
Horrible place. A prison hidden from the sun to better torture my people.
There must be other guards. Be careful. How awful. They've been reduced to burning the bodies.
And devastated. So many of us must have died here. Horrible place. A prison hidden from the sun to better torture my people.
There must be other guards. Be careful. How awful. They've been reduced to burning the bodies.
And devastated. So many of us must have died here.
Watch out! Grenade!
I don't have the key. Locked.
You're not one of them. Please, get us out of here.
Nords? What are you doing locked up here?
These scientists captured and abused us. They performed experiments, made us drink potions, took our blood. I heard them say that they wanted to find out how we are immune to the Malachor. None of it makes any sense. Please, get us out of here.
I'll find a way to open this cage.
I want the one who did this to know fear and suffer.
Let's hold this good doctor to account.
Grimme Derendam! Watch out! Grenade! Don't miss the Richness
You are on Olmenawi. Are you going to free us?
Yes, that's why I'm here. And to find out what's going on.
What's going on? We are locked up. They make us drink horrible things. We're starving. They hit us. They take our blood. They cut us up. They tell us we will die to save the Renaigse from a horrible disease. But I pray that the wicked birds catch it and die. Please get us out of here.
I will do my best. Don't worry. I don't have the key.
Let's go now. I want to see my people again.
Just one moment. I haven't freed all the prisoners yet.
You're not one of those nasty birds, are you?
No. I've come to put an end to all these horrors. To save you. But I thought they only captured the Onol Manawi.
I don't know why they brought us here. But they hurt us. I saw them cut a friend of mine into pieces. Get us out of here. Trokaret.
I'll find a way.
How can anyone do something like this to another person? We don't even treat animals like that.
Now that they are free, we must help the prisoners escape this place.
If they leave through the city, Hikmet guards will arrest them.
So we have to find another way to get them out. It's perfect. We just have to clear the way. The mechanism doesn't work. I need to take a closer look. I have to find the people responsible for what happened here. They must answer for their crimes. Wait for me.
We are prepared to fight these people with you. Yes. We will make them pay for what they have done to us.
You're not strong enough to fight. It's better for you to stay there. I'm not done here yet.
We are waiting for you, but please hurry up.
These poor people lost their lives only a few hours ago. They could not survive this mutilation.
And they were tyrant. They were cut up like pieces of meat. May the volcano engulf those who did this.
Who are you? You have no right to be here.
I have come to free your prisoners, and put an end to all the horrors that take place here.
I knew this would happen eventually. This all went too far. Dr. Asili, he lost his mind a long time ago. But what are you going to do with us?
Arrest you. Then I expect you will be sentenced.
No, please! We only followed the doctor's orders. We tried to stop him, but he is the director of the lab.
You could have reported it to the governor or left this place.
He threatened to destroy our lives. We could not... Please, don't lock us up.
What will you do once you're free?
We will try to redeem ourselves and resume our work at the governor's laboratory. That's where we worked before joining Dr. Asili's team.
If your conscience allows you to resume your activities as if nothing has happened, you may go.
I'm eternally grateful, Your Excellency.
This note carefully describes the sequence of the experiments. There are even sketches. It's hard not to feel sick. This is proof of all the horrors committed here. Asili has locked himself in his office.
Afra? What a surprise to see you here. You finally came to your senses.
Master, it's not...
Who is this person?
I'm the legate of the merchant congregation, and I'm here to put an end to your crimes.
My crimes? What are you talking about? My work was for the good of humanity. Don't tell me you're crying over some savages. The survival of our species requires sacrifice.
What did you hope to find from all these experiments?
Since the Malachor never reached this island, I wanted to check if these savages were sensitive to it. And I discovered that they were naturally resistant. Do you realize the implications of this discovery? So I tried to isolate this resistance to develop a cure in order to send it to the people on the continent. But I doubt that you will be able to understand the subtlety of such an approach.
This man is a cold-blooded reptile. My brothers and sisters were no more than ants to him.
You are a very beautiful specimen. When I think of the power flowing through your veins. Come on, Afra, my dear student. Will you let these narrow-minded inquisitors decide my fate? Are you not also devoted to science and truth?
Science and truth do not excuse your lack of humanity. I'm ashamed of having been taught by you, and that I didn't warn Burin that you'd gone mad. If I had, we could have prevented all of this.
You disappoint me so much, Afra. A second time. When I think what I wasted trying to teach you science.
We learned everything we wanted to know. This lab will close and you will answer for everything you have done.
You think so? Guards, capture these people! Stop! Think of my knowledge. All that I have accomplished. That can never disappear.
You will answer for your crimes in court.
But I'll be out soon. My colleagues will understand the importance of my work.
We shall see about that. I can't believe it. Constantine's Malachor was caused by a The potion we were made to drink when we landed on the island was contaminated. How dare he do such a thing? And why? Let's go. I found a way out of the city. But be careful. You are weakened, and creatures roam these tunnels. I will lead the way. I need a bit of practice.
You have saved our lives. How can we thank you?
We will never forget what you have done for us on Almenawi.
Yes, we will always be grateful.
We're not very far from the Hikmet outpost. You will have to be careful.
I know how to reach the port without being seen.
Perfect. As for you, you should take refuge in Vikshadir. You will be safe there, but you should avoid the Alliance patrols.
We'll get there. Qua awalem segven.
Come closer. All my wares are in the vanguard of... Thanks for your visit.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade, and to what do I owe this honor?
I've been to Asili's laboratory and what I discovered was abominable. Hundreds of poor souls tortured, victims of horrifying experiment. There were so many dead that a pit had been dug to burn the bodies.
How horrifying. I cannot believe it.
The natives were not the only victims of these crimes. There are also a number of Nauts.
Nauts? Pardon me for doubting you, but do you have proof of what you say? And have you brought Dr. Asili to me so he may answer these accusations?
Yes, we captured him.
Really? Very well. I will ensure that he is judged as quickly as possible. What was done with the prisoners that were being held in the laboratory?
They were freed. The Dinea Exregao are satisfied and should call off their attack.
What a relief. Finally, some good news. How can I repay you?
By allowing me to take part in the trial proceedings. What I saw merits justice, and I fear that the accused will find a great many defenders amongst his fellow savants.
It is a rather novel request, but granted. I shall inform the prosecutor. Let us remember that the madness of a man should not cast a shadow upon the greater sum of his work. His research is perhaps our only chance of discovering a remedy. Would you like to speak with me about any other subjects?
Can you tell me anything about Dr. Asili?
Asili is a man of remarkable knowledge. One of our most brilliant sages.
You already told me that, Your Excellency.
He is one of those rare men who master alchemy, mathematics, and naturalism with equal assiduity. Anatomy has no secrets for him, and medicine is his passion. Do you realize that it was he who perfected the inoculation technique?
Inoculation? What is that?
A novel treatment that allows us to fabricate immunity to sickness, such as the pox. If any man can find a remedy for the Malachor, it would be him.
I have to go. Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell, my lord.
Your Excellency.
Lord Antu.
I have to go.
Farewell, my lord.
I wish I had news from Al-Saad more often. My bro...
Hello. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
De Sardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation. Governor Buran told me to pay you a visit.
Oh. It is you who arrested Dr. Asili and must help me prepare the trial.
Exactly.
Excellent. We will have lots to do if we want the Doctor to pay for his crimes. The accused has a lot of support. Any evidence and testimonies you can gather will be useful.
We'll have no problem gathering witnesses. His laboratory cells were full of them.
We will call them to the witness box, of course. But be aware that if the victims are natives, their words will unfortunately not carry much weight here.
There were also some noughts. Perhaps I could convince some of the Doctor's colleagues to talk.
Their testimony will be crucial. The word of other scholars is likely to be the only thing that condemns him. That plus any material evidence you can gather.
I picked up a strange powder in the laboratory. A substance that I've not been able to identify.
You should show it to an alchemist. We need to know what it is to be able to use it.
These documents describe Dr. Asili's work, as well as the horrible experiments he was performing.
Perfect. I will read them in detail. We will no doubt find something to support my prosecution.
I have found a letter proving that Dr. Asili voluntarily transmitted the Malachor to my cousin, Constantin d'Orsay. I would like to add that I too was a victim of this poisoning.
Did the accused try to take the life of the governor of New Serene? This is an extremely serious crime.
Indeed. He saw my cousin and me as the ideal control group to prove his theories. And no humanitarian or diplomatic consideration could put a stop to his ambition.
This letter alone is crucial proof. I will put it on our file.
Do we have any chance of winning?
Yes, I am rather confident. You have provided overwhelming evidence. But if we had witnesses, we would have an even bigger chance of winning.
I will return to you soon. The Nauts should be at the port, and the islanders had to take refuge in Vikshad. As for the scientists, they said they would go back to the governor's laboratory. I should give this powder to someone who can tell me what it is.
De Sardet, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
I would like you to tell me about Asili.
I was expecting you to come and see me about this. What would you like to know?
Were you aware of Dr. Asili's experiments?
In part, yes. That's why I chose not to be his student any longer.
Why not say anything?
Because I never thought he would go so far. Over time, he became more and more cruel. I found his approach brutal. As if by meeting the natives it deprived him of all humanity. He spoke of them as test subjects, never as people. But there was a time when he was the greatest doctor and scientist in the Alliance. And I clung on to that memory.
You do know that you were captured thanks to him?
Yes, but I thought the natives wanted to trade us merely as prisoners of war. I was blind. And stupid. I regret it terribly.
Do you think, as your master does, that science justifies all sacrifices?
No. I may have believed that at one time, without of course ever imagining that we'd resort to such cruel treatment. But Dunkus, you and Siora have opened my eyes to the limits of science. To worship it as we do in the Alliance does not make us better than Thélème.
In your opinion, were the horrors practiced in this laboratory necessary for his research?
No, even if he was convinced of it. General interest outweighs the suffering of a few individuals. He wanted results quickly, to the point of neglecting slower, more humane methods. I hope we'll succeed in ensuring these experiments never happen again.
Would you be willing to testify against Dr. Asili during his trial?
Of course. I was going to talk to you about that. I want to convince my colleagues that we must give up these kind of methods. And even if it costs me dearly, I want my master to pay for what he did. Anything else?
I must leave you. Hello. I see that you're back to work.
Indeed. We were not bothered thanks to you. And here I can make myself useful. But I don't think you're here to ask about me. What can I do for you?
What is your purpose here?
I help Dr. Unur to understand the research of my former master. He's the one who became his successor.
I do hope that he doesn't use the same methods.
Of course not.
What about your other colleagues? What's become of them?
They felt guilty. They stopped their experiments and returned to Al-Sad.
What do the other scholars think of Dr. Asili now that his actions have been revealed for all to see?
Most still admire him greatly. He was the greatest amongst us, you know? They didn't witness what was happening in the lab, and they have little interest in the natives. For them, the main problem is political, given that the war against the rebels cost us dearly. Until they understand the horrors that happened there, they will not have any moral issues.
I discovered this strange powder in one of the laboratory's chests. Do you know what it is?
I did see the doctor using it once or twice, but I don't know what it is. But I can study it for you if you want. I have the tools that will allow me to do so here.
So? What is it?
It is a quintessence of black blood. Probably created using the blood of numerous patients. The doctor managed to harness the very concept of the Malachor in this powder. A single pinch ingested by someone would be enough for them to be afflicted by the disease. With the quantities that you brought me, hundreds of people could be contaminated. It's terrifying. I cannot believe Asili would do such a thing. Here, these are my notes. I wrote down all the details of my experiments, as well as my conclusions.
Thank you. I will relay them to the prosecutor. Are you prepared to testify against Dr. Asili?
Yes. I kept silent for far too long about what was going on in that lab. I know what we did was wrong, and I do not want it to happen again.
Thank you. Your story could change the outcome of this trial. I must leave you. What she saw working alongside Asili obviously upset her. She will make an excellent witness. Dr.
Dr. Honor. What do you want?
What is your role and what is your research topic?
I'm in charge of the Governor's laboratories. My main research concerns the Malachor, of course. Above all, we searched for a way to reduce the suffering of the sick.
Searched?
Now that we have access to my colleague Asili's work, it gives us hope of finding a cure.
So the crimes he committed while conducting his work do not concern you?
He will be judged for that. But it would be a shame for him to have done all this for nothing.
What do you think of Dr. Asili now that you've learned how he conducted his research?
Well, obviously the few excesses he has conceded himself are unfortunate, but he remains the greatest scientist that the Alliance has ever known. His work has had a profound effect on science. It seems quite unfair to me to reduce his life's work just to what he has done lately.
If I understand correctly, you will be one of his defenders.
Naturally. I don't deny that he made a terrible mistake, but he meant well. And he was probably acting on behalf of our helplessness to combat the Malachor.
Would you agree to speak at the trial? Your influence could be crucial.
Oh, but I already intended to give a statement. His lawyer came to find me.
So are you ready to defend a man who used to torture and murder to advance his research?
Indeed, because I think the entire work of a scientist should not be judged on a single mistake. It is obvious that he should not have used such methods, but Asili has never been very political. I doubt he understood the implications of his actions.
So you're saying the only problem in this case is political?
Essentially, yes. The war he nearly caused could have been expensive for our governor and the city, but let's not fool ourselves. No tears will be shed over the fate of a few of those bloodthirsty savages.
What interest do you have in defending Dr. Asili? You've obviously taken his place since his arrest. I understand that you admired him a lot, but under his tutelage you could not really impose your own ideas. Well, now you finally have a chance to leave your own mark on history.
You were not wrong, but I find it rather unlikely that he will be sentenced.
I have gathered a lot of damning evidence against him. And with your testimony...
I could finally publish my research on fountain contamination. Very well, you've convinced me. I will now testify for the prosecution. It is true that it's time to turn the page and leave his cruel methods behind.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Anur is an influential scholar. His testimony would convince the judges. Hello, Captain.
Well now, what fair wind blows you into port?
I have to go.
As you will.
everything all right?
Once again, thanks to you. These people wanted to kill me.
They certainly wanted to prevent you from testifying at the Doctor's trial.
The Doctor will be judged. I suppose you'd like me to testify about how we suffered.
Indeed. If you do not fear another attempt on your life by these men.
Don't worry. I won't put up with intimidation. From now on, my people will watch over me until I can testify. And I intend to witness the execution of our torturer. You can count on me.
Thank you. Your word will be crucial during the trial.
Hey! You are the Onol Menawi who freed us. We managed to reach Vikshadir.
They told me what you did for them, Renaikse. Well done. I was able to give them the care they needed. Some wounds will take time to heal, but they are safe thanks to you.
I'm happy to see that they're better.
But you didn't come here for that, did you?
No. I came to ask for your help. The Doctor who captured and tortured you is about to be tried for his crimes. He has a lot of support among his people. He's a respected man despite what he did. If we don't have testimony from some of his victims, he will surely be released.
You'll have our words. We'll go to the Grand City and tell our story.
And the Mad Lion will die for causing so much harm to our people.
May the earth engulf him. You can return to Hikmet. I'll make sure they get there in good health.
Thank you, Tiernahach. And thank you all. I blame myself for forcing these poor people back to the city where they have suffered so much.
My people are strong and proud. They will not be afraid to speak in front of your judges for justice.
I believe our investigation is coming to an end. Let's find the prosecutor.
You have returned, Your Excellency. Do you have any news on our matter?
A Naut victim of Dr. Asili agreed to testify at the trial.
Excellent. This kind of testimony will certainly rattle his defense.
The Islanders will testify at the trial. Their injuries will surely convince the judges.
Indeed. But do bear in mind that the Islanders are not highly regarded in Hikmet.
I managed to convince the scientists in the Governor's laboratory to speak in our favor.
Excellent. These are not direct witnesses, but if they denounce the Doctor, we are sure to be heard.
I even got a testimony from one of Dr. Asili's colleagues.
Perfect. That will convince our scientists, and you know how important they are in Hikmet.
Afra, one of Dr. Asili's former students, has agreed to testify.
Excellent. This woman is very respected by the Governor. Her statement will carry a lot of weight.
An alchemist studied the powder that we found in the laboratory. Apparently, it's some kind of concentrate made from the blood of several patients with the Malachor. It seems that less than a pinch of this powder is enough to contaminate whoever consumes it. There's enough here to make a small town sick.
A terrifying thought. I will add the analysis and this powder to the evidence on record. You have gathered overwhelming evidence. The defense will have a hard time saving the accused. I think we can go to trial with confidence now.
Will the trial begin soon?
It seems to be the right time. Excellent investigation work. I think we have every chance of winning.
Where will the trial be held?
At the palace. I regret to inform you that you will not be able to attend. However, I'm sure the Governor will keep you informed of the outcome of the proceedings.
Madame, congratulations. The trial was exemplary. Asili's madness was exposed to the entire world. And you have demonstrated the horror of his methods.
Thank you, Excellency. But all praise should be showered upon Sir de Sardet. The evidence he supplied was irrefutable.
It was necessary that you hear the victims, in order to understand the extremities to which your science has taken you.
Come now. One cannot conclude that science was guilty here.
Not science, but the savants were. It is never right to set aside humanity in the name of the common good. No knowledge justifies killing or torture.
Your words are wise, and I promise to remember them.
You have not always shown yourself a man of impeccable judgment, Excellency.
We are all, from time to time, victim of our own blind enthusiasm, that is true. But this trial has shaken my usual resolve. It may very well change the course of history.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sardet, and to what do I owe this honor?
I have to go.
Farewell.
Afra, are you certain that you want to attend this?
I do not want to attend. I must.
Dr. Asili, you have been found guilty of all accusations brought against you. In consequence, the Bridge Alliance Tribunal condemns you to death. Do you have any final words?
You treat me like a monster. But how many times have you stayed your own hands? So close to the goal to finally find a remedy, you would have done as I. What do a few lives mean when the future of all humanity hangs in the balance? You are nothing more than idiots, incompetents, and you, Baron, are the greatest hypocrite of all. You know that I am right.
Executioner, earn your pay.
You know that I am right.
Desade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
I must leave you.
Karantz, do you need something?
I must leave you. See you later.
My dear cousin, come closer and tell me what brings you.
I'm going to leave now. Goodbye, Constantine.
Look out for yourself.
Hello, Your Excellency. What can I do for you?
Was the captain we arrested transferred to you?
Yes. And we began to question him. It appears that he was paid by Governor Buren. The governor tasked him with weakening the natives as much as possible in order to muzzle the rebellion. They were trying to poison the natives with alcohol, but they needed a lot to do it. Their entire smuggling operation revolved around that.
Did you contact the governor?
Yes. He sent us a letter apologizing, saying he didn't know he was dealing with criminals. His letter was accompanied by a letter of marque to compensate the merchants who suffered in this case.
Which doesn't mean that he will abandon these despicable methods. Is there any news on Egon? We're no longer certain it's even a person.
Even though that name might refer to the organization, someone must be leading it. And that's who we have to stop. Alas, for now, the captain doesn't want to tell us any more. So the interrogation continues. We're waiting for answers on that point. I need your help in another case.
I'm listening.
The Admiral sent us a furiously worded letter. One of their ships was commandeered by our troops. They accused the San Mateus garrison. But I know Herbert is quartermaster. He's an honest man. I'm not saying that the Admiral is lying to us, but I don't understand what could have happened. Whatever the case may be, the Admiral is threatening to refuse all transportation to our men. This will not only hurt the Guard, but also all the nations that employ us. We need someone diplomatic, able to piece this whole story together. Can I count on you?
Yes. I will go see Admiral Cabral and try to understand what happened.
One arm. Oh. One armor that fits you like a glove. We'll make it for you. Oh.
Fresh forge and tear for a day. Blades, armor, locks, custom pieces made to order.
Oh, it's a great pleasure to... Want armor that fits you like a glove? We'll make it for you.
Oh, it's you, Onominawi! Come and see! I received beautiful things from our village.
Blades! The best forge in Tyr for a day! Blades!
Bertir to mud. Do you will always be welcome here.
closer, good people. The court in mind. Are your boots worn through? Is your hat out of style? Does your vest belong to last year's fashion? Have you... Thank you for your visit. See you soon.
De Sarde, what can I do for you?
Manfred, the quartermaster of New Serene Garrison, told me that he'd received a letter from you. Was one of your ships hijacked by the Guard?
The Trident and its crew were commandeered by the San Mateus Garrison. Commandeered? We will not let ourselves be threatened by these land pirates. The Guard has no idea who it is dealing with. I've already sent several of our warships to board the Trident and release its crew. The Guards taken on board shall be given no quarter.
I understand, Admiral. But Quartermaster Manfred was as surprised as you to hear this news. That's why he asked me to investigate. The Guard never gave the order for such an operation.
So these mercenaries do not even know how to manage their men? Remarkable. We will not deal with the Guard until Manfred cleans up his ranks. No more of these hireling thugs will set foot on my ships. The nobles will just have to do without their bodyguards.
I will tell them, Admiral. And know that I am fully aware of the problems that caused this act of piracy. Not only for the Guard, but for all the nations on this island. I will do everything to find those responsible.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I will eagerly await your news. Anything else?
I need to be going. Until we meet again, Admiral. The Admiral knows that we can't do anything without the force of the Guard. By prohibiting them from transport, she is putting everyone at risk, leaving us to take care of the problem.
And what can I do for you?
Quartermaster Manfred sent me.
I was expecting such a visit. And I'm glad Manfred sent an external investigator. This commandeering business may just spell the end of the Guard. Without the Nord's transport, we are finished. I don't understand what could have happened. I can assure you that we have never issued an order to that effect. It's as if some members of the Guard obey others' commands.
We had trouble with a criminal organization within the Guard. I wouldn't be surprised if they were behind this matter once again.
Oh, this is terrible news, Your Excellency. How can we sort the good apples from the bad?
By speaking to those in charge of those in command of this town, and trying to unravel the truth from the lies.
Since you neutralized Major Herman and his gang, 3 lieutenants have been leading the troops, while waiting for a new senior officer to be appointed. They are Lieutenants Alexander, Klaus, and Ermelind.
Do you think they're honorable?
I won't vouch for them, if that's what you're asking. I don't know them well enough.
Thank you, Quartermaster. I'll go and find them. Lieutenant.
Your Excellency. What can I do for you?
I'm conducting an investigation into the illegal commandeering of the ship the Trident. We must work fast and find out who organized this act of piracy. Or, we will all pay the price. Do you know the men who seized the ship and who they served under?
All I can tell you, Your Excellency, is that I'm sure they were not under my orders. As foolish as it sounds, we don't know the identity of the soldiers involved. Since our previous commander's coup attempt, there's been tremendous upheaval. We lack senior officers. The registers are not up to date, and many men are on the run. I suspect the supporters of the coup who escaped the trial may be responsible.
It's not impossible. I dealt with Major Herman, who was serving Commander Torsten, but I didn't take care of his men.
It's only an idea, of course, but one that seems most logical to me.
I'll leave you, Lieutenant. Hello. I am...
De Sardet, legate of the merchant congregation, right? Nice to meet you, Your Excellency. Lieutenant Ermelind, at your service.
Well, I didn't know I was so famous. Can you tell me anything about the ship that was commandeered by the guards?
A complete act of piracy, if you want my opinion.
Do you know who these guards were and under which officer they served?
No, and no soldier is missing here as far as I know. This is very strange. But since the commander's attempted coup, everything has gone to hell here. Men start muttering as soon as we have our backs turned. Some recruits have suffered violence, but refuse to name their attackers.
Do you think something is going on?
It seems obvious to me that some people took advantage of this unrest to line their own pockets.
I see. Thank you. I'll leave you to it. Farewell, Lieutenant.
Your Excellency, if you really want to know what's going on in this barracks, find me tonight near the church.
To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
Quiet. No one must know that I spoke to you. I am Sergeant Franz, and I'm prepared to help you. Don't forget the church tonight.
Hello, Lieutenant. De Sardet, legate of the merchant congregation.
Lieutenant Klaus. What can I do for you, Your Excellency?
I'm investigating the illegal commandeering of a Naut ship that took place here in San Mateus. Do you happen to know the men responsible and the officer they served under?
I'm sorry, Your Excellency, but I don't know. I only took office in this city 2 weeks ago. I'm just getting to know my troops. I was sent here to remedy the lack of officers following the arrest of the commander's men. Are you sure that this commandeering is not the isolated act of a few homesick recruits?
Not totally sure, but it's very unlikely. Managing the crew of a Naut ship requires great numbers and organization.
I see. But in that case, sorry for not being more useful.
Farewell, Lieutenant. The Lieutenant's interrogation produced nothing. This sergeant is our only lead.
Here you are. I wasn't sure you'd come. That will be understandable. It's better to be wary with Egon.
What do you know about this organization?
More than I would like. I'm part of it. Now ask me any questions you want. We don't have much time.
If you're part of this organization, why did you want to talk to me?
I joined this gang some time ago, without realizing the extent of their power. I naively thought that it would only be a matter of completing a few small secret protection missions. But I found myself involved in a sordid business with the young islanders. We capture them to sell them as slaves. They're very popular in brothels. I participated for a long time, without batting an eye. But I ended up bonding with one of the captured islanders. And the horror of this trafficking has finally hit home. I don't want it to happen to her.
Who took possession of the ship? And for what purpose?
Soldiers from the garrisons, members of Egon's organization. The boat was supposed to be used to transport the island captives to the mainland. Someone must have had enough of only being able to move a few slaves at a time, hidden in the holds. Now they've pulled this big stunt. They've not only attracted the wrath of the Nauts, but also your attention. Egon would never have made such a mistake, and they'll make the fool who did suffer dearly.
Do you know who Egon is? Or at least who runs this organization?
No. Everything is very compartmentalized. Each group knows only its direct superior, never the one above. Not only do I not know the big boss, but I don't know anything about his other activities.
Do you know who Egon is? Or at least who runs this organization?
No. Everything is very compartmentalized.
And who gives you your orders?
Lieutenant Ermelin. That woman is ruthless. After the business with the ship, she decided to make a clean sweep, probably to avoid the wrath of Egon. She told us that we had to get rid of the islanders we still held captive. She wants to clean up behind us to avoid leaving any trace. My friend is among them. If I can't find a way to stop Ermelind, she will die.
If we want to prevent this massacre, we will have to intervene quickly. Where are the islanders held captive?
They're kept in a former logging facility on the outskirts of town.
Is it well guarded?
No. Numbers are small to avoid arousing suspicion. But when Ermelin comes with her troops to get rid of the young people, it'll be a very different story.
Well, we'll take control of the operation before that happens, by getting rid of the guards. When Ermelind and her soldiers come, we will use the element of surprise to neutralize them.
With all due respect, there will be many. Are you sure you'll be able to face them?
We could ask for help from one of the native clans. The Storm Warriors, for example.
Do you think they would?
If it only involved us, I doubt it. But it's about saving their own young people. They'll also be able to give them shelter when we free them.
We will need to act quickly. I fear Ermelin will take action any moment now.
I'll go get help in Vedlug as soon as possible and take care of the operation.
Thank you. I'll arrange to be appointed as the scout for Ermelin's squad. That way I can let you know when we arrive.
We should go to Vedlug.
Let me accompany you. Deirdre is always suspicious. I could help you convince her.
What do you seek?
I have come to ask for your help, Deirdre. A group of guards captured young natives and turned them into slaves. But now they want to get rid of them to avoid drawing attention to themselves. I want to free them and stop these guards. But we will need support from warriors.
You are our Karans. We will help you. But you have to tell me more precisely what this is about.
The prisoners are in a former logging facility near San Mateus.
I know where it is. The Renaigse massacred the forest there.
We will get rid of the guards there, and release the prisoners. But if any soldiers are sent to kill them thereafter, can we rely on you to intervene?
I will send you my 2 best warriors. I can't give you any more right now. They will find you where the forest has suffered. Anything more?
I need to be going.
Gwawalem seg.
Here is the logging facility. The prisoners must be in that cabin.
No one passes.
I will pass without your permission.
Watch out! Grenade!
You're free.
Thank you. May the trees always bear fruits on your journey.
It was Sergeant France who told us where to find you.
France? So he kept his word. I had hoped he would.
Stay hidden here for now. We will set a trap for the people who captured you.
Then we will fight by your side. They will pay for what they have done to us.
No, you're in no condition to fight. It's better that you stay here. When we are done with them, you can return home. Thank you for coming to lend us a hand. I'm surprised. Deirdre said that she would only send 2 warriors.
It's not a Sengedin Anadas. It's a Gaius Rad, a warrior from my clan.
But Tirtuma Donegad, she told Eseld your story, and we wanted to come. Young people from our clan have been captured, and we believe they are here. When Xavier also sent a warrior for the same reason.
We are most grateful for your help. Thanks to you, we can stop those who captured them.
You're there. Were you able to get rid of the guards?
Yes, and we have released the prisoners. But there are still others that we have to defeat.
I see you've managed to bring allies. With them, we have every chance of winning. Ermelind and her troops shouldn't be long. You should take position.
Anything to report, Sergeant Franz?
Negative, Lieutenant. Everything is quiet.
Where did the guards go?
I don't know.
How can you not know? Hey, what's going on?
We got them.
Make sure Lieutenant Ermelind is shackled and brought back to San Mateus. She will probably be sent to New Serene to be interrogated by Manfred. She has a lot to teach us about Egon.
I hope she can help you put an end to all of this.
Can we all go home now?
Yes. We will escort you.
Breg, it's thanks to you that I realized what we were doing. I hope you'll forgive me one day for being one of those monsters. In the meantime, I will do everything I can to help stop this smuggling for good.
You are a better man than you think, friends. When you're finished, return and see me at Xavier. I will be glad to see you again.
We should go. Let's report to Quartermaster Herbert.
Your Excellency, I was told you'd returned with prisoners.
Yes. Lieutenant Ermelind organized the slave trade on behalf of the organization I told you about. Her men captured natives who were then sold here or smuggled to the mainland. We also found out that they commandeered a Naut ship to speed things up.
What madness. I guess Manfred will want to have her questioned. Lieutenant Alexander, you will accompany her with some men.
Quartermaster, at your orders.
And you, Sergeant. I understand that you participated in the despicable actions of this traitor.
It's true, Quartermaster.
I recommend clemency. Without his help, we would not have discovered what this was about.
I see. You will accompany Lieutenant Alexander. Manfred would like to talk to you, but I will make sure that he knows what role you played in this case.
Thank you, Quartermaster.
Well, I'll let you get on, sirs.
Thank you very much for your help, Your Excellency. Travel safe.
Well, things seem to be in order here now. We should go and warn Manfred.
May the Enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing.
It's you, Onomenawi! Come and see! I'll receive beautiful things from our village.
Hello, Your Excellency. What can I do for you?
I was able to clarify the story about the ship, and we arrested the person in charge.
I've already been told all this. Lieutenant Alexander came before you did. He told me the whole thing, and he didn't fail to tell me everything we owe you. I have already sent a letter to the Admiral explaining what happened and offering reparations. I hope she will forgive us. Anyway, I thank you very much. Once again, you have worked wonders, Your Excellency.
We couldn't have done anything without Sergeant Frantz. He showed admirable courage. I imagine he's joined your forces.
That doesn't ring a bell. I don't think a sergeant by that name is stationed here.
Strange. It seemed to me that Quartermaster Herbert told him to come and find you.
Well, perhaps he changed his mind. With this business going on, he must be sorely lacking in men. Anyway, know that our investigation has finally paid off. Lieutenant Alexander arrested many criminals with information obtained from prisoners. You should go find him. He's with Captain Ulrich.
Captain Ulrich?
The highest-ranking captain in the garrison. He's an old man who is not often found in the field, but faced with such a scandal, he had to intervene personally.
Thank you, Manfred. I'll go find them. This arrest is good news. Let's find the captain.
Ah, Your Excellency. I was talking about your exploits to Captain Ulrich.
Your Excellency?
Captain, Lieutenant. Quartermaster Manfred informed me that you had made several arrests.
Indeed. Lieutenant Ermelind confessed, which enabled us to flush out most of the gang.
I can't quite believe that all the arrested men are involved in this case. I know many of them, and could have sworn they were honorable people.
I'm sorry, Captain. I understand. It's a shock. We were all sure that our comrades would never be involved in this kind of thing.
Will you continue the investigation?
Of course. We can't stop our research until we've completely dismantled this organization.
Lieutenant Alexander was asking me to transfer him to New Serene, to be a part of the investigation there.
To manage it, if you allow it, my captain. I was honored to participate in the interrogations of Lieutenant Ermelind, and to be able to arrest all these criminals. I would not want to leave things half-finished.
As I told you, Lieutenant, I can't approve the transfer of an officer from another garrison. I must refer to the commander.
In any case, we're most grateful for your help. But we can now bring this investigation to an end without you.
I see. What goes on in the Guard is the Guard's own business.
It's a bit like that, yes. We can't let the actions of a small group compromise the reputation of the whole Guard.
You forget, once again, that you have not yet obtained your transfer, Lieutenant. In the meantime, please be dismissed.
At your orders, Captain. Goodbye, Your Excellency.
I'm sorry you had to hear this call to order. This lieutenant is inclined to forget who he's speaking to.
It must be the enthusiasm of youth.
It's possible. In any case, and contrary to what he said, we will still need your help.
Why's that?
Lieutenant Alexander claims that Ermelind's confession allowed him to arrest all these men. But I attended one of these interrogations, and all she talked about was a secret camp. The one in which Torsten's recruits received their special instruction for the coup d'etat. If I understood correctly, this place was taken back and used by the criminal organization. But our lieutenant did not mention it, which surprised me, and led me to doubt his sincerity. Perhaps Alexander failed to report it to increase his prestige later.
But he could have another motive. So you would like us to go there?
Indeed. And I'd like to accompany you.
I am no longer a field officer, but I still know how to hold my own. And I want to see this case with my own eyes. You know the place, so you will be my guide.
Very well, Captain. You can count on me.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I will get going right away. Will you come with me?
Yes, I'm ready. Let's hurry.
We're almost there.
How would you like to proceed, Captain?
By the book. We'll go through the whole camp, neutralizing any threat.
It's blocked. Sergeant Franz. Oh, poor man. He paid dearly for the help he gave us.
He was beaten to death.
Quartermaster Herbert ordered him to accompany Lieutenant Alexander to answer Manfred's questions, but he never made it to New Serene.
I was sure that the lieutenant was not genuine. He must be involved.
It looks like poison.
It's a deadly combination. It can cause death in an instant.
This document talks about eliminating the witnesses to the case.
Manfred and us are definitely on that list. Lieutenant Klaus, so you are part of this disgusting plot.
Lay down your weapons, Lieutenant. Any resistance is futile. Your troops have been decimated.
I will not surrender, Your Excellency. Death is sweeter than the price of treason.
If you speak, we will be lenient.
You, maybe, but Egon, I doubt it. Farewell.
He's poisoned.
The plague. I'd have liked to have questioned that traitor. There are still traitors in this camp. We should eliminate all of these vermin.
These letters are signed by Egon. We must go to the office of the leader of these criminals.
But could study the handwriting to find out who's behind this pseudonym. We did a good job, Your Excellency. Egon will never come back from a hit like this.
Certainly. But we know that there are still criminals amongst your troops, including their leader.
We know that Lieutenant Alexander is involved in all this. The sergeant's body, and the fact that he didn't tell us about this camp, are telltale signs. Perhaps he will be able to provide us with a lead. Otherwise, we still have these letters.
Remember that we are targets. Just like Manfred, we will have to stay alert.
You're right. Let's get back to New Serene as soon as possible. You will hand over the evidence to Quartermaster Manfred and assure yourself of his safety. I will go and ask our insolent lieutenant for an explanation.